Hi guys, this is the advisor and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a topic that touches my heart and touches my soul, and a topic that should touch the soul of every black person, every human being of African descent across the entire world. However, it is a topic that nobody seems to understand and that nobody cares about. But today, I'm hoping that if I highlight this issue, that people will have a better understanding of who they are as black people, and more so Jamaicans living in Jamaica. And I'm talking about Haiti. Haiti has a big problem and have had a problem for many, many years. For most of us, we know what's going on down there. Gangs with guns have taken over the capital and are spreading terror in the country and all of that. And some of them come here on boats nearly every year, several times, and we just give them little food, inspect them, give them a medical inspection, and pack them back to Haiti. But I'm now hearing that Jamaica and several other countries may be involved in invading the country to put back law and order. I'm also hearing some sounds that, but I don't know how true it is, that we may be taking some Haitian refugees into Jamaica. And if that is the case, I say, good for us. Excellent decision. However, what I want to highlight today is the problem of Haiti. Why is Haiti where it is today as one of the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere? As a matter of fact, I think it's the second poorest country in the world. One thing I can say for sure, and this is a fact, Haiti is not cursed. I mean, if we want to look at it from a supernatural standpoint, Haiti is not cursed. Haiti is in the position that it is because of some despicable, malevolent nations that are sitting and are standing on Haiti's neck. So, where did this all begin? And guys, I want to listen to this, because it affects every single black person on earth. Knowledge is power. And in this video, I'm trying to, it might not be exciting, but if you want to be powerful and know who you are and where you are and who your real friends are in life, this is the video that can tell you all of that and make you more powerful and know who your real enemies are. Now, Haiti's problem began in 1789. That was the year when Toussaint Louverture kicked out the French out of Haiti and freed themselves. That was when the black slaves rose up, and under the leadership of Toussaint Louverture, they liberated Haiti and caused Haiti to become the first black independent republic on the face of planet Earth. And that is where Haiti's problem started. In those days, the so-called industrial world, which was Europe and a country that I can't call its name in this case, but I'll refer to it as the perfect parasite. And it is impossible to come up with a better name for this country. Anyway, when France, which is the second most perfect parasite, realized that they were kicked out and that this country wanted to be independent, what France did was to say, hey, since you don't want independence, here's what I want you to do. Pay me, compensate me for all that I'm going to lose, because you are now free. In other words, France is not compensating the blacks who had enslaved them for years. France say, we are the ones who are being hurt, we are the ones who are disenfranchised, and you, now that you are free, we lose all the income what we used to make off of you. So you now going to pay we, because we no longer have you to earn from. And then France set a figure. France wanted compensation of $150 million. Now, $150 million in this year, in 2024, would be a lot of money. Can you imagine how much $150 million would have been in those days? And France said, listen, if you do not pay that money, I will cut off all trade with you, you and your republic. You cannot trade with any country on earth, and you will be isolated, and you'll never be able to develop any economy. We will not talk to you. We won't take your diplomats. In other words, the embargo, the first real modern day embargo, international embargo, was placed on Haiti. Haiti tried to come up with the money and couldn't come up with it. So they went to France, and France loaned them the money and then took out a large interest rate on it, which tied them in that to this blessed day, Haiti is still paying for being free. Who knew that? Which one of you listening knew that? But at the same time, let us put this in context, because remember, at the time, the first country that supported France in this move was the perfect parasite. At that time, the perfect parasite was about 1/3 of its size, and it wanted to expand. And just about 2 or 3 years before that, France had sold Louisiana, the whole section of Louisiana that it took for itself. Now ask somebody, just come see the Native Americans there. Take the country, all of that piece of land for themselves. 530 million acres. 530 million acres. France decides that it own it. That, and they call it Louisiana. Now guys, when you see that white area in the center of the map, you see green on the right, green on the left, and a white area, clear area in the center of the map. All of that is Louisiana, right? Now, I want you to look. I'm going to put Haiti on the same scale and put it in the center of that white. So you see the difference in size between Haiti and Louisiana, and why Haiti was charged roughly 100 times more just to remain free, while they sold about 3 cents an acre to the perfect parasite. Take a look. Now, 3 years or 2 years before they make that demand on Haiti, France had sold Louisiana, that it has stolen from the Native Americans who have lived there for thousands of years, but that's another thing. They sold Louisiana to the perfect parasite for 15 million. 15 million for the entire 530 million acres. Yet they wanted 150 million in order for them to recognize Haiti and deal with Haiti as an international, as a part of the international group of countries. And of course, they were supported by France, Belgium, Spain, Italy, Greece, Britain, and all the other slave countries, because they weren't going to trade with Haiti either. In other words, at that time, if you kick one white man's butt, you have kicked them all. And they all turned down on Haiti. And that they've carried that on to this blessed day. The perfect parasite, buy out the argument, and to this blessed day, they have had their boots or their knees in Haiti's neck. They will build no industries there. They refuse to buy Haiti's goods, but only enough to sustain the country to a certain level. But they will not put in no infrastructure. They will not lend. Haiti cannot get money to borrow. I mean, listen, it is a total, it's like hurricane had been hitting the country from 1789 when they took control and became the first republic. And these European countries have not forgotten. You touch one of we and you prove say you're equal to we. No, we will never forget that. At that time, Spain, Britain, France, and all, Italy and all was fighting against each other. But even though they were fighting against each other, they banded together against Haiti because Haiti was a different race. And we can't have them go on like them can't want run country. We have to keep we knee in them neck. And that has been so to this blessed day. Every little money that Haiti makes is sent over to France as reparations for being free. And I mean to this blessed day, how the country must develop. And the perfect parasite helps in this thing by making sure that Haiti always have a dictator to rule them that is subservient to Europe and the perfect parasite itself, and France, of course. Now, let me move forward a bit to the January 2010 earthquake. I want you guys to take a look at this pie chart. The one on the left. Within the first 3 months of the earthquake, how much US dollars Haiti got in donation? They got $1.6 billion, that billion with a B. Now, look at how that money that came into Haiti, 1.6 billion, look at what it could have done. But at the chart on the left, it says 43% went to US military operations, 44% went to other US agencies, 7% to Coast Guard and Homeland Security, and 6% to US State Department. All no one house, no bill yet. All no, nobody no get no food yet. But all of the donation, you see where it went? Now, after 10 years, that was in the year 2020, total donation to Haiti was 4.6 billion. That's 4,160 million, right? For people who need to understand. And out of that total, which include what we had seen on the left, 45% went to US corporation, 37% other US groups, 15% went to Haiti-based recipients, and 3% went into some wherever nobody don't know. Who was in charge of all of those funds? Somebody named Killary And Kill Harry pack up all of the money and take it right, go back and leave it in the coffers of the perfect parasite. In all, out about $4,160 million. It's about 3 or 4 house bill. Right? To this blessed day, look at these pictures, this is how Haiti is living. And what did Haiti do to deserve this? All Haiti did was freed itself from slavery. And every white country in the world turned down upon them and keep them there from 1789 until now. 200 plus years. Them people, they never are going to forget. Trust me. And they will never allow Haiti to gloat over the fact that it kicked French butts and made itself independent. Then, until God come, those Europeans are never ever going to forget that. Let me tell you that. So Haiti will never ever thrive. Although there's a window opening, but I'll discuss that in another video. And why I would say France is equally as parasitic as the perfect parasite. Today, as we speak, France has 15 colonies in Africa. Well, no, I think the last 3, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. They have used the same thing that they do in Haiti is what that France has done in all its colonies in Africa. These colonies are dirt poor. The colonies in Africa, at least when Britain left Africa, they left infrastructure. France never left. They call them independent country. But 50% of the international reserve of all these 15 countries have to be kept in French banks. And if these countries want money to spend to buy anything, they have to go to France and borrow money, their own money from the international reserve that they have in the French banks. And then France would lend them their own money and charge them a higher interest rate. While at the same time, they have neglected all infrastructural development in these countries. That is the reason why Africa is so poor. Anytime you see Africa come to you and tell you about democracy is one they want to just put in a puppet that they can control, who will let them continue to milk these countries dry, milk these countries of their riches. And these countries are very rich, but France will never train them to mine the gold, or train them to drive the heavy vehicles, or train them to make anything. France just come in and scrape out everything and carry away all the raw materials and leave the country in poverty. And this has been going on forever. So it's not Haiti alone. But here's an important fact to note. Right? The perfect parasite was the last country in the world to free its slaves. It freed its slave in 1865, reluctantly. And look at all the countries that band with the perfect parasite. France, Spain, Germany, Portugal, Britain, Italy, Belgium, the Netherlands, and so on and so forth. What all of these countries have in common? They were all slave people. They were all of them made their riches. All these countries made their riches of African slaves and of African raw materials that they milk out of the ground. On the other hand, I want you guys to look at 3 countries. Now, have sense. People who don't need to have sense. There are 3 countries I want you to look at. These are 3 countries that the perfect parasites and its many former slave traders in Europe have in common. They all hate 3 specific countries. And they hate these countries and want to wipe them off the face of the earth. These countries are China, North Korea, and Russia. They have that in common. There is a common hatred for these 3 countries by the West, the exploiters of Africa. But there is one other important thing we have to understand about these 3 countries. None of these 3 countries have ever had a black slave. Now, these are the 3 countries that can help Africa to rise. That is the reason why they are fighting against these 3 countries, because if these countries get powerful enough, they could free Africa. And I can understand that a lot of black people, including Jamaicans, are saying, oh, Russia only want to go down the figure thief too. Oh, China just want to go down the go thief. North Korea just want to go down the go thief. And I can understand. You are going to be wary because these are also non-black people, non-Africans who are going down there to make a difference. But here is one important thing to look at. There are several important things, but here is one of the few important things to look at. When China or Russia goes down to Africa, they build infrastructure. They build bridges, they build roads, they build airports, they build factories, they build everything that this country needs to make life better for their people. If you see France go down there, or any white country goes to Africa and build a railway or build a road, guess where that road leads? They will build only the road that takes the truck or the train from the mines that they build, that they are digging the gold and the platinum and the magnesium, and take it to the port. So once they can have a road that can gouge out the values out of the soil and take it to the port, they will not build another road in the city or anywhere else or put up a factory or anything, because they have no interest in developing Africa. And the countries that are doing this are former slavers. Now, isn't that simply plain? Why are the former slavers who are currently gouging out Africa are also hating the three countries that are helping to develop Africa and have never had a black slave? Come, come, rationalize that for a moment, because sometimes we don't think. But I'm going to give you a short story. Guys, stay with me for a minute, because it gets more interesting. What I have to say is even more interesting. There is a man called Abraham Petrovich Hannibal. He was born around 1696 and died in 1781. He was a Russian nobleman, high nobleman, right up there with the barons and earls of the day. And he owned huge properties. He was a black man, and he had the highest status in Europe in his day. And when he died in 1781, that was when slavery just really start big time inside the country of the perfect parasite. Slavery still have about 120 years left to run inside the perfect parasite, while at that time Russia was turning black men into noblemen with vast lands and castles and everything. You're not going to see this in any storybook or in any book in the West, but Google it. Google the name. Google it. And you know how this man ended up in Russia? Hannibal. He was taken there with a sultan from Turkey who was visiting the Russian Tsar, Peter the Great. And when Peter the Great saw him come there, he came there with two little black boys who were his slaves. And Peter said, no, you can't come to my country with slaves. Give me them. Me want them as gift. Let them give me. If you have bring anything for me, leave these two little black boys with me. They were brothers. And one of them was Abraham Petrovich Hannibal. Now, let's look at the name Petrovich as a middle name. In Russian society, you get your name, your middle name is called a patronymic. In other words, your middle name is based on your father's first name. Now, since Peter the Great did not know who Abraham's father was, he adopted this young man, this boy, and gave him his middle name. Peter gave the boy Peter's first name as his middle name. That's a patronymic. Now, in that society, if it was a girl, he would have been called Petrovna. But because he's a boy, his middle name would be Petrovich. That is how they do it. They have a female and a male version of each middle name. And the middle name is based on the father's name. Let me give you another example, because we have to learn, you know. Give you another simple example. For example, President Putin, if he has a daughter, if he fathers a girl, her middle name will be Vladimirovna. And his sons, all of his sons' middle names would be Vladimirovich. Because that's how that society works. So Phyllis, Tsar of Russia, the Emperor of Russia, looked upon a little black boy in the 1600s, early 1700s, and give him Peter's name to this boy and call him Petrovich. It means that he took him as his son. That was important Russian names are. He sent him to Switzerland and all over Europe to study, and he went there and he studied, and he came back and became as an engineer, and he became a general in the army and a nobleman, a landowner of vast property. and so on. He married a white woman and had children. And one of his kids, one of his grandchild, was Alexander Pushkin. Alexander Pushkin is one of the most famous writer and poet in the history of Russia. The point I'm making here is, be careful of what CNN and BBC and NBC tells you about Russia and China and North Korea. Be careful. Look at who had Africa's back over the years. Bear in mind also, because I need to say this. I can't leave out this. The one country in Africa today that has nuclear weapons is which one? It's South Africa. Where did South Africa get nuclear weapons? They got it from the perfect parasite. Why was it given to them? It was given to them to defend themselves, that if the blacks were to rise up to a certain extent, they should nuke them. And bear in mind that this happened at a time when there was a total embargo from the entire world against South Africa. South Africa at the time was a pariah state. Yet the perfect parasite chose to give this pariah state nuclear weapons to nuke its own black population. Now, a lot of you don't know that. The point I'm making is, we are supposed to press the world to lift their boots out of Haiti's neck and let it strive. And believe me, the only countries who are going to free blacks are going to be Russia and China, and to some extent North Korea. These countries are the pariah of the West. Because why? Because they are not playing by the handbook that the West makes. They are not engaging in gouging out the wealth out of Africa. They refuse to stop putting in infrastructure in Africa, and they refuse to turn over their wealth and succumb to American homosexual lifestyle and how much genders they are and so on. But guys, the bottom line I'm saying is, be careful of those countries that have had pharmacy. They're not stopped in slavery yet. This is the reason why I'm saying, when I talk about and say the scammers who are scamming those white people in the United States, and I support them, I know where I'm coming from, because I know myself. I don't succumb to the rules of the farmer slavers. Anyway, guys, I hope to continue this in another video, not making it too long. So like, share. Anyway, first of all, thank you for watching. Like, share, leave a comment below, and I look forward to seeing you all in my next video.